I've been teaching art for over 6 years and I know the blank page can be scary, but you know what's even scarier than a single blank page is a whole stack of blank pages, which is basically a brand new sketchbook. So let me show you how I start off my sketchbook, and then we'll go over some advice on how you can approach your sketchbook to make it a little bit easier and have a lot more fun. If you want to see the full project outline and inspiration for this sketchbook, check out the video in the description after watching this video, where I go over how I'm thinking about this specific sketchbook. For the actual cover of the sketchbook, I'm not fully sure how I'm going to approach this. I want to draw on this with inks, but I know if I gesso it, that's not going to work. So I might just use like label stickers. I have these like label stickers that I could stick on here and draw over top. I think that might work, but I'm actually going to leave the cover until I'm done with the sketchbook because I want the outside to reflect the end point of the sketchbook rather than the beginning. I know that a lot of artists will fill the front of the sketchbook with a bunch of stickers, but I do not have that many stickers, and I kind of want my own art on the cover. But one of the tricky things about doing the cover is that if I use any kind of painting medium on top of here, it'll get sticky. And my sketchbooks usually sit on top of each other on my bookshelf, so they'll stick together if I do that. That's why I need to figure out some way to like use paper, maybe just like glue paper on top so I can draw so that it's not sticky. If you've ever dealt with this, feel free to leave a comment. So part of the goal with the sketchbook is to do art that feels a little more like this. If you watch the project outline video, you have some sense of what I mean here. But this type of like cutesy fun characters. So I use this sketchbook to like test these types of characters. But the problem with this paper is it's too thin. That's why I got a new sketchbook here. But this gives you some idea of the types of things I want to explore. Kind of fun characters that are much more silly, much more fun. So I actually have that written out here. The main goal with this sketchbook is to lean into silliness and playfulness. I want to maximize and prioritize fun. So usually I just write this stuff out by hand, but because I have a label printer, I was like, let me try this. Let me see if this works. Printed this out, and then I put the start date and what's going on in my life just so I have a milestone point, so it's easier for me to remember what's actually happening on the date. Because if I try to remember what happened on March 2nd, 2022, for example, I'm not going to remember what period of my life that was. But if I have a couple of pointers, I can remember things. So what I wrote down here is I just finished the 4-hour artist course. I just finished wrapping up that course this weekend. I hit 30K subs on YouTube, yay, and 38K watch time hours, which is crazy to think about. I can't even really wrap my mind around that idea that people have watched 38,000 hours of my content, which is crazy because I think the entire Game of Thrones series is 72 hours or something like that. So this is a crazy number. And my second year at the Genesis condo, which is the condo I'm currently living at. I call it the Genesis condo because it's one of the first. And also I put a couple of cute stickers in here. Mostly to cover up the fact that this is on an angle. I didn't stick it in correctly, but I didn't want to be too picky about that. So I just left it. Let mistakes stay mistakes because I don't want to get too caught up on that. And then underneath here, I have my phone number. So if it gets lost, people can call me so I can buy it back for a strong $80 because that's what I'm offering for the sketchbook. That's what my art is worth. I also want to stick this in at some point in somewhere in the sketchbook. This is one of my most viewed drawings, which is crazy to think about. I did this video about how to draw every day with ease. I think some of you guys might have found my channel through that video. But this drawing is literally like a 20-minute doodle, 15-minute doodle maybe. And it's my most viewed video. That video has over 130,000 views. And it's my most viewed video on the channel, so it's really funny to me to think about the fact that this drawing is what people have seen the most. But obviously that was a very short video, so that was going to get more views. But I do think that that's funny, so I do want to stick this in here somewhere. I have another drawing on this back page right here that I stuck in. So one thing I want to do with this sketchbook, I want to have a lot more fun. I want to fill it out with stuff. One of the main things that I want to explore is maybe using ballpoint pen and watercolors. So I have used colored pencils, but I love the feeling of ballpoint pen. It just feels right for me in my hand. It's what I love. I adore it. It just feels right, and I enjoy it so much. And the whole point of this is to have more fun. So I really need to lean into the ways that make drawing more enjoyable for me rather than what looks the best. Here are a couple of tips that make sketchbooking way easier for me. Tip number 1 is to set intentions for your sketchbook, and your intention can be experimentation. So when you start off your sketchbook, decide what type of sketchbook you want to be working on. And this can change over time. It's not like it's set in stone, but I do think that setting clear intentions makes it a little bit easier to know what it is that you're aiming for. So are you doing studies? Is this like a study sketchbook? Is it a sketchbook where you're deliberately going to do ugly drawings? Or is it just like be loose at the end of the day? I don't want to think about making pretty drawings. So this sketchbook is the ugly book, right? Like, is this the ugly sketchbook? Or is there a specific project that you're working on? If you've done my 4-hour artist course, then maybe you've designed a project that you want to be working on in this sketchbook. So really think about what is your intention here. So my intention is obviously to have as much fun as possible, and knowing that ahead of time makes it a little bit easier to know what it is that I should be working on in my sketchbook. You can also just be a little bit more free, right? So if you are in an experimentation phase of your life, then you decide that like, hey, this is going to be an experimentation sketchbook. Therefore, I'm not going to put any pressure on having any consistency in my drawings. Like, the drawings can be wherever. I can pull inspiration from wherever I want. But if you're maybe in like a technical growth phase of your artistry, where you're focused on learning anatomy or you're focused on foundational skills, then you can be like, well, this sketchbook is specifically for studies and foundational work. So on the first page of your sketchbook, you can sit down and ask yourself, what phase of art am I in? What is it that I want to focus on? What is it that I want to explore? And starting from a place of curiosity can help you a lot, especially by writing it out. Actually journal in your sketchbook and ask yourself, what am I actually interested in? What do I want to explore? And you can set intentions for every like 5 pages as well, right? Your intention can change throughout the book, but setting some intention can make it so much easier to figure out what it is that you're inspired by right now. So you might be into a specific type of music right now, so you want to lean into that. Or maybe you just recently watched a TV show that's been really inspirational for you. Maybe you do drawings that are based on that TV show for the next 5 pages. And then you could reset the intention if your inspiration changes. But asking yourself this question can make it so much easier to propel you to actually start your new sketchbook. Because starting a sketchbook is hard. So finding a place to anchor yourself, a place to be like, okay, here, I'm setting down a flag here for now, can make it so much easier to actually finish those first couple of pages. Tip number 2 is to get smaller and cheaper sketchbooks. Instead of buying huge sketchbooks that are super expensive with fancy paper, get yourself a cheap sketchbook and get one that doesn't have too many pages so that you don't feel tons of pressure. Like if you have a sketchbook that has 240 pages in it, that's a lot of pressure. I don't think I've ever done a 240 page sketchbook because they're intimidating. I don't want to start off at this huge novel of a book, right? Like, that's not what I want. I want a small, cheap sketchbook. Especially if you're not working with fancy tools, you do not need expensive paper. Cheap paper is all you need, especially if you're working like in pencil and stuff. Don't invest tons of money into a fancy sketchbook unless you're really into that. If that helps you, then sure. But I think for most of us, cheaper and smaller is better. This sketchbook I'm currently working on is only like 40 pages. And I intentionally did that, right? Like, I intentionally chose to get a smaller sketchbook so that I can finish it and actually like get to the end point at a faster rate than if it was a really, really big book. So if you struggle to finish sketchbooks, maybe try getting a smaller sketchbook this time around, and that might make it easier for you to start and actually finish it because you don't feel as much pressure. It's not going to take you like 2 years to finish a sketchbook. It might just take you half a year, and that will feel really good. And that will help you build momentum. The joy of finishing something will help you build momentum towards actually finishing more sketchbooks. At least that's been my experience. For some of you, maybe you like the fact that you get big sketchbooks, but to me that just seems intimidating, especially if you've never finished a sketchbook before. Get yourself a small one, small both in size and in terms of page count, and see what happens. Tip number 3 is to make the first page intentionally ugly. I know that a lot of us feel pressure to make the first page beautiful because we're like, oh, when people open the book, we want it to look beautiful. But that is the wrong choice. Intentionally make it ugly so it looks like you made a lot of progress in your sketchbook, right? Just first page, open it up right now and just make it ugly. Intentionally. Do your ugliest drawings in the first page. This will take off the pressure, right? So you don't feel as scared to start your sketchbook. And number 2, it makes it look like you made a lot of progress, which I'm saying that as like almost a joke, but you can actually think of it that way. You can think of it that way so that if your first page was beautiful, how hard would it be to finish that sketchbook? It'd be very hard. But if your first page is ugly, then you will want to like improve and do better the next page, and then the next page following will be even better, and that like progression of improvement will be impressive. I love looking at artist progress. Like if you've ever gone through someone's Instagram or portfolio website, you scroll to the bottom and you're like, that's where that person started. And then seeing how much they improve is so exciting. So just do that to yourself. Intentionally make the first page ugly so that it looks like you improved a bunch. And that just lowers the bar, makes it so much more fun to finish that sketchbook. I know that for some of you, you might feel like, well, if I did the first page ugly, I've tainted the book. But that means that there's this essence of perfectionism in your mind, right? The only way that doing an ugly drawing will taint the book is if you imagine that you can do a perfect book, which does not exist, right? Like perfectionism is such a curse. It's such a toxic way of approaching your art practice. And I know that's hard to overcome. It's something that I struggled with throughout my 20s, and it's what I talk about a ton, on here and in my courses. Is just like trying to overcome perfectionism. So note that you feel that way. If you feel like doing an ugly first page would taint the book, note that in your mind. It's like, okay, why would it taint it? Does that mean that ugly drawings are less valuable than beautiful drawings? Like, what does that say about me? Do I feel the need to only do beautiful drawings? Because I do think that can lead you down a path where you end up drawing less and less because you're putting so much pressure on each drawing. I don't think we'll ever get rid of the desire to do beautiful drawings. I'm not going to say that you're one day just only going to be okay with doing ugly drawings, but try to accept the fact that you'll do ugly drawings most of the time, right? Aiming for a beautiful drawing every 1 in 10 drawings, every 1 in 20 drawings, I think is completely fine. I think that's natural. I think that's a natural desire. Like, I don't think we're going to overcome that all of a sudden. But I do think that we should accept that ugly drawings are part of the practice. So we should invite them in. There's a certain amount of ugly drawings that we have to do to get to some of the beautiful ones. To get to the good ideas, we have to go through bad ideas. And that mentality can help you draw a lot more, make it easier for you to finish sketchbooks. Because if you know that every 20 pages, 1 in every 20 pages will be beautiful, then you'll go through the first 19 with ease. Because you'll be like, well, there's no pressure. On the 20th page, if I've not done a beautiful page, then I might feel a lot of pressure. But 1 in 20, I think, is appropriate. 1 in 20, especially if you're a beginner artist, expecting a good drawing every time is just unrealistic. And I know it could seem that way when you're looking at art online because there's so much beautiful art, but trust me, all those artists went through so many more ugly drawings than you can even imagine. So just accept the fact that ugly drawings are part of the practice. Make your first page as ugly as possible. Actively seek out ugly drawings to give yourself the freedom to do beautiful drawings. 1 in every 20. I think that's a good ratio. 1 in every 20 drawings, if they turn out beautiful, that's a good ratio to hit. So expect those 19 ugly drawings and try to enjoy them, right? That doesn't mean that rush through those 19 drawings. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't treat them with respect. Still fall in love with those drawings, still enjoy the practice of doing those drawings. But then if you hit every 1 in 20, that's good. So make your first page ugly. It'll give you a lot of freedom. Tip number 4 is to make your sketchbooks personal. Treat them like journals, right? So start writing in your sketchbook. Start asking yourself questions. So we asked yourself a question earlier about like, what phase of art am I in? One of the questions you can ask yourself is just like, how can I enjoy this art practice a little bit more? Like, ask yourself questions, give yourself prompts, and write them out in your sketchbook. This can be especially helpful if there are days that you don't feel like drawing. Because on those days, we still want to put time into our sketchbook and still have the sketchbook reflect where we're at. And if you just have a couple of pages of writing, that's totally fine. One thing that you can do is you can do bits of writing throughout the sketchbook, but leave blank areas on those pages so that you can go back and do a bit of drawings. Like if you want your sketchbook to be full of drawings, which I understand that desire, I love those aesthetic, sketchbooks where you have like writing and drawings. So if you're going through a phase where you don't feel like drawing, just do a bit of writing here and there in blocks, and then you can go back and do small drawings and doodles wherever you can like fill space. That's also something that you can do on days that you don't feel like drawing like anything serious. You can go back to old pages and just start filling in empty spots, and that's how you get those like really full sketchbooks, is by going back in and filling spots, areas where you can only do a small doodle anyway, so there is like lower pressure. That's one way to do it. But just try to make your sketchbooks more personal, right? So like if you go watch a movie, maybe you take your movie stub and tape it into the sketchbook and treat it more like a scrapbook. I do think that will make it a little bit easier for you to make progress through your sketchbook and like make it feel real instead of it just being about drawings. Now, obviously this is personal preference. If you're someone who doesn't like the idea of scrapbooking and you don't like writing in your sketchbook, completely fine. But I do think that if you want to develop a more beautiful sketchbook practice, it can help to like make it more personal. Let the book reflect your actual life so that you can treat it like a journal where you look back on it and you feel good about it. You feel like, oh yeah, this is a reflection of where I was at that period of my life. And I think that's a little bit fun. Like I especially write a lot on the first page of my sketchbooks where I like write out where I'm at and stuff. And you saw me do that earlier where I had like some milestones. Sometimes I'll include like way more personal stuff where I'll just write very personal things into my sketchbook so that I can remember and reminisce about those moments in my life when I go look back on the sketchbook, because I want it to be like an artifact of where I used to be in my life, and tying together like where my art practice is and where my personal life is, like having them connect feels so much better. It makes me feel like the art practice isn't this separate thing that I'm doing. It's not like I'm going to work and then coming home. You know, like there isn't like that separation. Your art practice is usually a reflection of where you are in your personal life. So like just letting them coexist in the sketchbook can be great. That's obviously up to personal preference, but I do think that will help you make quicker progress through a sketchbook and make it a little bit more fun. Tip number 5 is to remember that the art practice is for you. Right now in your sketchbook, ask yourself what you could do to make your heart smile while you draw. What is it that would make it so much more enjoyable? Really reflect on that. Really think about that. That is why the sketchbook and the project outline that I've created for myself is so much about having fun, because I realized that to make my heart smile and make myself feel good, I need to have more fun. I need to laugh a little bit more. I want to be silly and feel more free. I want to let go of some of the pressures. And by asking myself that, I've been allowing myself more space to be honest about what would make me enjoy my art practice, because I need to remember that it's for me, right? You're not going to create a beautiful sketchbook that's going to do anything really for anyone else. It's about you. It's about your experiences, about what you want to express in your art practice. And you only get there by being intentional, right? You're not accidentally just going to be very self-expressive unless you have that personality type. But I think for most of us, we have to be very intentional and clear about what it is that we want through the art practice, because it's so easy to fall into the trap of listening to advice by everyone else. It's so easy to just fall into the trap of just doing studies all the time to improve technical skill, to one day do the thing that I want to do. It's like, no, that's unrealistic. That's not how that works. If there are dreams that you have, if there are things that you want to draw, start drawing them right away. Do the studies, improve your skills, but be clear that like, I'm only improving my skills to do this thing that I actually care about. And that should be the foundation. The true fundamentals of art is the things that you care about. It's not these technical skills. Everyone keeps talking about technical skills. Yeah. Important, it helps, right? Of course. But if you don't really care about what you're drawing, it really doesn't matter anyway, right? Like just being technically good doesn't mean that you know what you like, right? There's so many artists who can draw beautifully and know all the technical skills, because they don't have a lot of things that they enjoy in their art practice. A lot of the art just looks bland because there's no life to it. There's no enjoyment in it. So ask yourself right now, how do you make an art practice that would make you feel alive? Like, how do you feel as alive as possible in your art practice? And that might also have to do with the setting of like what it is that you're working on, right? Like, where are you doing your drawings? Are you doing your drawings at home? Is it at nighttime? Do you like going to cafes and drawing? Like, ask yourself these questions. Like, how do you make the entire art practice more beautiful and more fun for yourself? And that will make it way easier to finish sketchbooks, right? Like, if you want to fill out sketchbooks, figuring out how you can develop the habit so it's way more fun and more enjoyable for yourself will make all of that stuff easier. So figure out what it is that would make the art practice more enjoyable for you. Remember that it's for you. So if any of the advice that I said earlier makes it less enjoyable for you, then don't do it. No matter who says it, like no matter how good an artist is, if anything makes you enjoy your art practice less and doesn't make you grow into who you want to be as an artist, then stop doing it. It's always about you. It's about your art practice. The sketchbook should reflect that, right? So it should be about you. Now, if you want help with figuring out your creative voice and how to build a project outline, check out my 4-hour artist course where I explain how to overcome perfectionism. There's a specific exercise that we'll go through that helped me a ton, helped me overcome a lot of my unhealthy expectations. Then we'll go over the drawing habit where I explain how to build a drawing habit and how to find enjoyment in your habit so that it's not as hard, so you don't need as much discipline. Then we go over how to develop your creative voice and art style, how to figure out what it is that you want out of your art practice. And then we develop that into a project outline where we actually like start our mini project and actually get something done, right? Like, let's actually make art we care about. And the way to do that is to do a mini project that has some intentions, has some clarity in it, but it has enough room for us to experiment and grow into our artistic voice. We're not going to hit our dream project right away, but we can get there by doing mini projects that are easy to digest, and we can experiment and figure out what it is that we care about. So if you are interested in that, check out the link below. And also if you are interested in watching the project outline for this specific sketchbook, I have that for free below. So check that out, and I'll see you guys in the next lesson. Bye.